Hello, everybody. Hi. I'm doing something a little bit different this month, and I thought in an attempt to make my video less than an hour long, I'm gonna do the overhead voiceover thing and just talk about the art as we go. So, welcome to my August art recap video. It was a good art month. It was a good month. Had lots of art. Did some traveling. Had some family time. It was really cool. It was nice. It was a good month. So this here is my all the art that I've made. So let's get started. This is a plein air piece that I did over on Toronto Island. It was right after we took Simon swimming over there. It's one of our favorite things to do in the summer. And it's a place that we've never really sat before, and there's good reason because it was muggy, it was boggy, it was buggy, it was not pleasant to sit here, but my painting is pleasant. I'm really happy with it. And I did just really loose watercolor. Um, and I did like a wet on wet here with I think I started with the background there, not the background, the light color on the water, and then moved on to the trees and everything. And it was a lot of wet on wet with this one. And then I added in some Neocolor 2 scribbles. After the watercolor, I added in some Neocolor 2 scribbles, which you can see like here. And I wasn't loving it. Um, but then looking at it now, like after a month apart, I love it. I love the little pink random squiggles, the little, yeah, just I think at the time the neocolors did not. I was really regretting adding them in, but after a month apart and looking at it now, I'm really happy. I like this one. I think this one's really good. This is from August the 1st, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I am not at all happy with it, not even a little bit happy with it. Next, I have this little book that I carry with me. It's a Moleskine book that my friend Susie gave me for Christmas. And I went to do a client, meet a client, and it was like an hour ride on the TTC. So I pulled out this lovely pen that I carry with me and my book, and I did a single line drawing of my leg and the guy that was sitting across from me, his foot, uh, just to pass the time a little bit while listening to an audiobook. And then these doodles I also did there. This one was based off of an IKEA poster that I saw in the um, subway station. Anyway, that is that. Next is something that I've been working on for a while, but I finished it on August the 4th. And that is my favorite tree zine. So this zine is as described on the front cover. Um, they're my favorite trees around the neighborhood. So this tree here, um, I say it here, is from the music garden. And let's just take a look inside. So this was during, I think it was during late spring when I don't know if it's a cherry tree, but the flowers on it were really pink and everything, and it was really pretty. And it's located at Spadina in Queens Quay, which is just down the street from us, close to the music garden where this tree lives. Now, these trees are the same trees, and I'm still not happy with how I captured them, but there's a certain movement and, let's say, energy to the way that I painted these trees, just looking at them now. And this is at the end of our road at Queens Quay Stadium, just where Simon has a morning pee. And this tree, I stare at this tree every day, multiple times a day. It's outside our window, and it's this really spidery, just branches that live above the treetops out our window, and it is by the airport just across the street from us. And then this tree is not in the neighborhood, but it's one that I say hi to at least once a year, ideally twice a year, and it's at Tobermory, up in Tobermory, which is at the very top of Georgian Bay in Ontario. If you are in Ontario and have not been to Georgian Bay, please go. It's beautiful, specifically to the grotto, which is a hiking path. And there's a natural grotto, lots of rocky beach shore, like giant big old ancient rocks and stuff. It's really beautiful. Then ta-da! I started to break in this little Art Creations 12 centimeter by 12 centimeter sketchbook. So we will be visiting this sketchbook quite a lot this month, but I started it on August the 5th. So it's my doodle sketchbook. It loves brush pen, my Pentel Pocket brush pen, which I use for this chicken here. It does not bleed through at all, which is really nice. And then I used some Posca marker, and then mostly in the sketchbook I'm using color pencils and Neocolor 2s. But this is a chicken. I think I just found a reference on Google or something. It was cute. Maybe it was on somebody's Instagram page. And then this is over at Toronto Island by Center Island, which was a picture that I took when I was there last month with my sister and brother and their kids. I don't know if you remember that. And then this is at the music garden. So this is like some big Cousin It looking plant on the ground, and just the scene behind it in a tree. And then these are all from my own photo references, except for the chicken. And then these are just some flowers from around here, from around that spot. I should put up a map. Maybe I'll insert a map here. Here, I'll insert a map of my neighborhood, and then I'll point out all of these different spots, because you guys have no idea what I'm talking about when I say the Music Garden or Trillium Park or Coronation Park or whatever. These doodles, I love these doodles. So this one here was a picture that I took from my aunt's funeral. She passed away in May of 2020, and we weren't able to have her actual funeral service for quite some time. I forget the actual date that it was on, but there were these nice white flowers there, and I took a picture of it against the sky. And then in the picture, I didn't even know at the time when I was taking the picture, watery eyes and all that. But there was a little bee that was just like a tiny, tiny little baby bee that was right around the flower. So, and I was holding the flower in my hand. It was a cut flower, but it was just a really sweet thing to notice after looking back at the picture. This picture here is my grandma's garden, and it's like a really old photo that I have used a bunch of times for reference, and it's like barely color. It's like, old photos, how the color's all like almost washed out in one color. That's what it is. So I just love playing with the color, making up the color. And I love it. Even though it's just a quick little doodle, I think it really captures it. And I just realized, so some of these pages I prepped with some some washes of gouache, said the cat in the hat, on the background. And so then it's color pencil and Neocolors over top of the gouache, which I think looks really cool. Really good. And then more doodles the next day. So on August the 6th, I did some more doodles. This is a view from the Ferris wheel over on Center Island. And you can see it was like all of the treetops, and then the CN Tower poking out the top, which was really nice. And then this is just a giant leaf that I took a picture of over on Toronto Island too. Like the leaf was like huge. It was very, very big. So on August the 7th, I did more doodles. This is the water here. So right on the edge of the water, at the end of our park, right in front of our house, which is Little Norway Park. And weeds. And these weeds are really, I think they're pretty. They have little purple flowers on them. And it just looks really nice against the rest of the metal barrier. And I thought I would capture that in my sketchbook. These are all done here, by the way, like not out on plein air. And then this is a photo, a doodle of a photo that my Aunt Ruth took, who is the same aunt who was that funeral. Okay, we're still in the doodle train. So August the 10th. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're almost out of the doodle train. August the 8th. I did some more doodles, and this is down at the marina at the end of our street, and just like a fence by the townhouses, and then the flowers that poke through. Anyway, it was really fun to do the negative painting on here and leave again the gouache on the background as the white of the fence, and then draw the flowers in and around that. I thought that was really cool, really nice, really effective, I think. And then this is from the marina, just so if you're standing here and you're looking this way, you see the fence, and then you turn and you look this way and you see the marina. Obviously, there's more boats in the marina than this boat, and I wish I had added in like all of the boats, but I did not. And so it's just one lonely little boat that looks like it's about to take off for flight or something. Okay, more doodles. August 11th. This is the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen. So I, filled in the background, and this one did not have a background on it, a gouache background on it. But as I was doing these two, I really was happy with this one. Like I really liked it. I thought it was really good, and I was not happy at all with this one. So this one, I did the gouache background on here. So I left did the negative painting and everything, and was just like really loose with the colors and stuff. And then I swooshed on scribbled on some Neocolors, and then I added a little bit of color pencil on the flowers. But looking at this now, and every time I flip open my sketchbook and see this page, I could really like do without this one, and I love this one. So it was really funny as I was doing these two same time. I loved this one, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have done like the whole spread like this. But I love this one. I like it. It's good. Okay, that's it for the doodle book for now. On August the 5th, we went outside to do some plein air painting, or urban sketching, as it were. Depends on the style that I see when I sit down. Is it plein air or is it an urban sketch? Urban sketches go in the sketchbook, and plein air pieces go on the little 5x7 cards. So anyway, I was doing the inking for my urban sketch, and then the like darkest of like gray clouds started rolling in, and they were coming really, really quickly. And this was just done at the park across the street. And I didn't have time to add the color. I was going to do watercolor in the background of this, but I am really happy with the way that this ink sketch is, just as it is. Like, I don't know that it needs anything. Maybe I would add a little bit of light color, but not touching it. It's good. Then I went on a our annual family camping weekend, which is where my brothers and sisters, mom, dad, nieces, nephews, pretty much the whole bunch of us, with the exception of our brother who lives in California and his family. We go to Kincardine every summer for a weekend of family camping, which is really fun. I'll pop up a picture of our big group, which is almost everybody who was there, but you'll see it's a lot of us. And then on the Saturday, we went to Station Beach in Kincardine, and I did this on location at the beach, just really super loose and scribbly. I laid down some gouache first, and then I went in with Neocolor 2s and color pencils and just had a scribbly fun time. This is Lorelei's drawings that she did on the beach. She's a very big fan of Melanie Martinez, and I think these are Melanie Martinez albums of some sort. You tell me. I don't know. Anyway, I think they're really cute. She's fun. She's good. Also from our camping trip, I did this over a couple of days. And this was in and around our campsite. So our campsite is actually on a family friend's farm. And my parents have their motorhome there. And then this here is like this big barn where we put our tents. But this year we had some trailers in there. And it's really nice. It's actually nicer than at a campground because there's like 20 of us, picture. And we're loud. Like people, when you get that many people together, it's really loud. And so this is nice and secluded. And we just have like all the place for ourselves. So all the kids can just run around. and it's really fun, but it's also really pretty. Like we're in farm country in Ontario, which is beautiful. I don't know if you are all familiar with it, but yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this panel spread. Um, Obvious inspiration from Katie Moody with the panels, but it's color, pencil, and Neocolor twos. I did not do any gouache on here, but I like it. I think it's really effective, and I think as I travel or as I have like a subject, I'm gonna do more of these because I think it's really neat. Also, that was my breaking in of this also art creations A5 sketchbook by Talons. That was a gift from my niece Autumn. Fun. Okay, so as I was doing that spread, my niece Lorelai was doing these drawings here, which are pretty cute. My neighbor Totoro is a sticker covered in sand. Just scribbles. We were doing an ASMR video. I can pop that up along while we're looking at this, but we made an ASMR video, so she was capturing the sound of the Neocolor too on the paper. And that's the end of that sketchbook for now. All right. When I got home on August the 6th, oh boy, this isn't very, it barely fits in here. I did this oil pastel piece of the beach scene from Kincardine. So similar to this guy, but using obviously the photo reference in my oil pastels, which live at home. Yeah, I did this fun scribbly time. So these are my two nieces here laying on the blanket, or two of my nieces here, Peyton and Olivia. Um, and then again, the guy in the hole. Just all the umbrellas and, kind of people on the beach and whatever. Fun. I love oil pastels. I would love to do an art hang with you guys where we just play with oil pastels. I think that would be a fun time. Oil pastels never disappoint me, and I love them. All right, I guess next is August 17th and this plein air piece. So this is at the Marina Key West, this is the music garden right here, and then this is the marina right beside it. I've painted this scene a few times before en plein air in urban sketch style, and it was we got out a little bit later this day, so it was twilight, and the more and longer we sat there, kind of the light was shifting like really quickly, but I'm really happy with how I captured the pink in the sky and everything. I think I did that justice, and the suggestion of boats, which is about as best as I can do with boats. Next is I did this, my favorite thing I've ever made in my entire life, maybe with the exception of my grandma's garden in oil pastel. But this is acrylic paint on canvas board, and it's based off of a photo from our family camping weekend that my sister took because she thought I could use it as a photo reference, and am I glad she did. Um, what do I say about this painting except that I absolutely love it? I dreamt that I painted this. I was having a really hard time falling asleep the night before I painted this. That's when you wake up at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you start thinking about absolutely everything, and then you can't fall asleep. And then you try counting, you try breathing, you do whatever. Nothing was working. So I thought about this picture, and then I started painting in my head. And in my head, which turned into in my dream, where when I finished painting this, I gridded up the canvas so that I had like the little blocks and stuff. And then I sketched on it, and then I started painting. And then when it came time to paint it in real life, I did the same thing. So I've never done a painting where I grid it up first, but I did that, and then on my iPad, I put a grid on Procreate over the picture. And then I sketched it out, which I think was really helpful because normally it would just become like a huge like mishmash of color. But actually sketching it out nicely, roughly, not nicely, sketching it out roughly really helped. And then I also kept in my head that quote that I had in one of my link packs by Monet, where he said, just look at the scene in front of you and identify the colors and shapes and don't think about the details. I'm paraphrasing, I'll pop it up here. Um, but I freaking love this painting. And I need to practice this style more. I need to do this and I need to become consistent with it because I love it. I love it. I stare at it all the time. I have it sitting beside our TV, like kind of propped up against the TV. There's a space on the corner of the console. And as I'm watching TV, I just look at it. Just like I love this painting. I need to take good pictures of it. I need to do something with it. My friend Susie recommended making a silk scarf with it, which I've done with my with an oil pastel piece as well. I just have a sample of them, but I would put them if I can find a nice print on demand place for it. I'll put them on my shop. Do prints of it, maybe a little like tiny sticker. I don't know. But this painting needs the light of day and maybe I need to fix this house here. Happy with that one. Next is another plein air piece. So this one was done on August the 19th, and it's from Toronto Island. So this is where we usually take Simon swimming, and we never usually sit here because it's sandy and sand is messy and Simon gets all roly-poly with it. But it was just a really nice day, and Simon and Ray were having fun playing catch. In fact, they were playing catch with swans chasing them. So, fetch. When Ray would throw the ball out into the water, there's two swans out there, and then like they would be swimming the opposite direction. And as soon as Simon ran into the water, they would like turn and start like swimming really quickly towards him. Never getting really close enough to do anything, but it was kind of funny. So yeah, I sat down, I pulled out my paints, and I painted this, and I'm really happy with it. I've done one, I think in my sketchbook here, just like while I was here, based off a photo, but I really like how this one turned out. Um, I think it's nice. Next, let's come back in here and go to New York. Um, So Ray and I went to New York for 4 days, the 20th to the 23rd, 24th, whatever the dates are. Anyway, this is the single line sketch that I did of Ray and his backpack while we were waiting for our flight. Um, it was really nice. We took the plane from the airport literally across the street from us, so it was super convenient. Um, and I had a window seat, so this is the window, and then this is the ground scene from the plane, all the farmland and stuff like that, the patchwork, um, and then this is the view from our hotel room, which was in Soho, New York. Um, yeah, just of the rooftop of the building beside us, and then like I think this was also part of that was not part of the hotel, but it was the building across the street. And then right here, there's a really beautiful mural of hands, like painted hands, and I forget how they were, but it was really beautifully done. Um, but I love this spread. I like the ink sketches, even though Ray's face turned out wonky because it's a single line sketch that he's wearing a mask under his chin. He's talking to his mom, who came with us with his goddaughter, god sister, Ray's mom's goddaughter. And yeah, so they were chatting. Um, but I like this. I like this. Feels like a nice travel sketch. Obviously, it's a travel sketch, but it feels like I like it. That's what I'm trying to say. I like it. And then these are some plein air doodles that I did. So this one we were at Union Square Park, and these are all New York. We got a New York bagel for breakfast, and this is the Union Square Park, and they have these little seating areas just with like little tables where people can just go and sit and eat. And I feel like we don't really have that in Toronto. Like we have benches to sit at, but we don't really have like these little eating areas set aside. But this was the view, my view when we were having breakfast. And then this is the Parkette, Hudson Square Park. So this was across the street from our hotel. So as we were waiting for our friends to pick us up to go to Coney Island, it was really, it was fun. They had a ping pong table, they had a cornhole game. I forget what else they had, but we played ping pong and cornhole while we were waiting for them. And then I sat down and pulled this out and did like a quick little 7-minute sketch because they were close. So it was a fun scribbly plein air sketches. And then this was on our last day in New York, August 22nd, Times Square. And I use my Pentel pocket brush pen. I don't know if I need to say that all the time. I use my brush pen to capture this, Times Square. And then this is a Micron, just gray brush pen. And then a little bit of Prismacolor color pencils just to capture the screen colors. And I really like this. I really like the graphic aspect of it, and then the simplicity of the black with like the pops of color, and that's it. I think this is really cool. I like it. Also, we went to Milk Bar and I had the worst ice cream I've ever had in my life, so I'm not going to talk about it. So these are doodles from before our New York trip, based on photos from Kincardine, where we were family camping. So this is still going back to the family camping stuff. These pages had gouache in the background of it, so Neocolor and color pencils over top. Again, this is the same. This is based off the same picture as this. So I did this one first, and then that's what got me thinking about doing the bigger painting. More doodles using my brush pen. I think this one works better. I was just trying to do like some composition studies. This one got a little too black, so does not work. And then we come to some doodles from New York. So on the Saturday, we went to Coney Island, which was really fun. And the 2 times before I've been to New York, I never made it to Coney Island. And this was like one of the main reasons why we went, is that Ray's friends, his DJ friends, were having a DJ party, like a house music party on the pier at Coney Island. So like down here, there was like a big dance party, which was really neat. It was really fun. I'll see if I have some videos. I do have a reel that I will put up, just of our weekend in New York. And then some more New York doodles. So these are views from the High Line. So the High Line is this elevated path, walkway thing that runs through a lot of New York. And it's an old train track. And they converted it into this like elevated park situation, which is really nice. It was beautiful. But this is like, I feel like this is quintessential New York City with the metal balconies and the brick building and stuff. And this was a little Statue of Liberty that we saw on the High Line, with the building behind it. And then I'm just gonna finish out this the New York doodles. Obviously the Statue of Liberty. When we were in New York, I didn't estimate, my watch told me that we walked over 70 kilometers in the 3.5 days that we were there, which is a lot. I had to buy new shoes because my feet were killing me. And then just more doodles, the last doodles. I like this one here. I like the birds on the wires. I think they're really cute. And I was debating whether I should put, because there's like buildings coming in like this way based on their perspective, and this was really supposed to come that way. But I'm pretty happy. Glad I didn't add a sky in the background or add in the buildings, because I like just the simplicity of the birds there. So that's how much I've done in my my little doodle book so far. I am loving this little this little guy. Again, it was a really rainy day, or like threatening rain on this day. And when we sat down to do this, I realized I didn't bring my little water jar. But I did have one of those brush pens, like the ones that have the water inside a water brush pen. So I used a little bit of gouache, just to get a little bit of the color down, and then I used Neocolor too and color pencils on top. And I like it. I like the messiness of this. But I'm gonna go back because I was referencing my favorite painting from last month. Um, this one is definitely much more effective, I think. But I was trying to reference like how did I do that? Like looking at like, okay, well, what did I start with and how did I do? Anyway, we'll practice this style because I like it and I think it has like a nice vibe to it. And this is an urban sketch from the Bentway, which is an urban park. It's underneath the Gardiner Expressway, which is the expressway that runs downtown Toronto. And they took um, a bit of like a bunch, a section. They took a section of the under the highway here and they turned it into a park, which is really cool because it's just like wasted urban space. So it's really neat. And they have this path here. It's kind of like a figure eight that goes behind here, weaves in and out. And there's people that are like skateboarding, roller skating, and whatnot. I think there's even like a roller derby club that meets here. um, we're gonna come back here. I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna do a lot. I'm gonna do a lot more sketches here because there's just, I mean, if I come sit over here, it's gonna be obviously it's gonna be a different view, but it's gonna be fun and I like it. Um, I think I think this one is a 10 out of 10. Lastly is a plein air sketch that I did on the weekend. So this one is from the 27th of August, Saturday. And this one I did sitting with my sister. Yes. So we had a picnic. We picked up a picnic lunch and we were sitting over here to eat it. And it was getting really chilly. We sat down in kind of like a sunny, shady spot to start with, but then it was just all shade and like we both had goosebumps. So we're like, we gotta move. We can't sit here. She brought her crochet stuff. She's a beautiful crocheter. And and I had my paints. And so we got up and we walked around. Let me show you. Maybe I'll pop the map up. So this is Coronation Park, and then we walked around to the tip um, of like right to the very entrance of Trillium Park, and walked down like a little pier, and then climbed up on some rocks, and then sat and looked over at Coronation Park. And I captured the scene. Yeah, that's uh, that's my month of art. I still have today and tomorrow in August. It is August 30th as I'm recording this. Um, so I will, whatever I make in the next 2 days, I'll include in the September recap. Okay, editing Melissa here, and I can't believe I forgot about this gigantic MF Doom painting that I've been working on for, call it a full month and a bit. I started this in July at that Twitch in Real Life event that we did, house music and live painting. And then I worked on it over the time until I finished it this month. But yeah, it's MF Doom, who is a rapper MC who is no longer with us. Yeah, it was for Ray's birthday, and obviously Andy Warhol inspired, and it lives above our couch in our living room, and very happy with it. It looks really nice. Okay, my favorite artwork for the month, because I always like to pick a favorite, even though we should not play favorites, but can you guess what it is? Any guesses, any guesses? You didn't say your acrylic painting. I'm curious to know what yours is, because if you didn't say this, then I'm really curious to hear what yours is. But it is by far and away, this is my favorite. This is in contention for the favorite thing that I've ever made in my entire life. It's this one, or it's my grandma's garden. But yeah, that's That's my week of art, my month of art, and I would love to know what your favorite is. Um, Thank you so much for being here, for your support, for your friendship, for everything. Thank you. Thank you for being my guinea pigs for August. And if you're watching this after August, thank you so much for being here. And it means a lot. It really does mean a lot. And I'm rambling, so I'm going to go, and I hope this is under an hour. Bye.